Hi, I'm Charlotte. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be doing a Q&A today. I've got 10 questions that people have asked on my Instagram post that I'm going to answer for you today. They're all to do with parenting and my experience. If I get any more comments on my post after this video goes up, then I will do my best to still answer them. I'll either message you individually or I will make another video depending on how many more questions I get. First question, sorry, I'm going to be looking down a bit because I've got the questions wrote down. The first question is, have you brought your child up by the book or just gone off your own instinct? Now, that's a tricky one really. To a certain extent we've gone by the book. Like, obviously you're not going to put a child in a bumbo or in a walker or anything like that if they can't hold their head up or anything like that, but that is also instinct. But then we've also, like, when it came to weaning, we was given jars at like 3.5 months old, and I know they don't really like you to even do it at 4 months now, even though some of the jars say 4 to 6 months. They like you to wait till 6 months, but I personally did with both mine because they seemed like they were hungrier and I just knew what was best for my child. So probably more instinct than by the book. Everybody does things in their own way and a mother knows, so. Right. Second question. How much harder is having 2 kids than 1? Well, that's a tough one. Having 2 kids is really hard. Like, as you can imagine, you've got to chase after the one child, especially when you've got a newborn. When the baby is first brought home, it's quite hard because your child can get jealous and they're used to having all your attention. You can't go and play with them as much. You've got to feed the baby, hold the baby. Your other child has obviously got to be quiet. You're constantly telling them to be quiet because the baby's sleeping or stuff like that. It's a big change, so it's quite hard. My 2 are starting to get a bit better now as they're getting older, and they are quite loving at times, so it is rewarding as well as hard work. But I definitely say the early stages of having 2 kids is the hardest. 3. Best advice for handling tantrums in public and in general. Now, for public, I'd say I know most mums wouldn't, but I usually just say to them, right, do you want to go home? And I'll listen. Finley usually give him his dummy, although we've took him off his dummy now, so he shouldn't really be having it. I probably won't be giving it to him if he cries in public again. But Aria, she usually listens if I say we go home. If not, I just deal with it. It's hard to see the amount of tantrum, and it's hard because you know people are staring at you and everything, but I think the less you think about other people, the less worked up you will get, which will show your child that you're not rising to it, which means they will calm down themselves anyway. But yeah, I personally just say to Aria, right, we're going home, or if I've bought her some, if I've gone to buy her something, I'll say, right, I'll put that back if you're not behaving. So it's a bit like blackmail, but she does listen. In the house, I tell her she'll go to bed and she'll listen then. She don't always listen, mind, but that's the only way I know to stop her from having so much of a tantrum. So if anybody else got any tips, please let me know, because I don't want to blackmail them forever, and it probably won't work forever either. Do you ever get much time, just you and your partner, and do you think it helps the relationship? We don't get no time together on our own, because both sets of grandparents work. The one lot work on the weekend. It's hard to have both of the kids for us sometimes, so we wouldn't expect it for them overnight. Aria sometimes goes with her dad, but Finley, it's hard because he's such a clingy baby as well, that we just don't get no time on our own. We've tried arranging it quite a few times, but we never get the chance, and I do find that if we haven't had time together for a while on our own, even if it's a couple of hours in the night, we've been a lot more stressy with each other, and it does put a lot of strain on the relationship, and then it's harder then with the kids, because you're stressed at the kids, you're stressed at each other, and you just can't wait for the day to go, and it's just, you do need that quality time to just be you, and not just be Aria and Finley's mum and dad. You need to be yourself as well. It's very important, I find. A lot of arguments, I think, wouldn't happen if we did actually have quality time. On the rare occasion you have time to yourself, what do you like to do? I like to read. I do quite a lot. Obviously I do all my blogging stuff, all my videos, all my social media platforms, but I do like to read. I've got my Kim Kardashian game, if anybody's played that. I love that. And I also love to binge watch seasons. I don't even know how you say that, but yeah, I like to watch programs. My favourite programs are Pretty Little Liars, which I finished watching. That's where I've got Aria's name from. Vampire Diaries, the originals. I love Criminal Minds. Oh my god, it's amazing. If anybody likes anything to do with crime or anything like that, this is the best programme to watch. So Criminal Minds. I love Grey's Anatomy. I'm currently reading The Eve of Man as well, but it's just taken me so long to read it because I'm concentrating on my blogging at the minute. I'm finding it hard to find time to do that type of stuff, especially because we don't get any time without the kids other than when they go to bed. So, and the kids at the minute aren't really napping either. Aria have a nap for a while, but Finley's starting to like go out of his naps in the day as well, so I don't really get much time to myself. What do you enjoy most about being a mum? I enjoy the hugs and kisses and the moments where they do something funny and you just think, where the hell did they get that from? I love just being called mum. I love the bond you got. I just can't even pick what I love the most. Maybe Christmas, I think. Probably Christmas. Every year is getting better and better as they get older. Aria started to understand last year a bit. She was saying Santa. She was still scared of him. The year before she was scared of the Christmas tree. She would cry and she wouldn't go past it, which meant she couldn't go upstairs, she couldn't go in the kitchen without anybody, she couldn't do anything because she was stuck to the living room because she just was too scared to walk past the Christmas tree. But yeah, I think Christmas is probably my favourite time and my favourite part about being a mother. I love family time, and it's nice seeing their faces light up at the presents and seeing them get all excited, having all the family round, and all the little Christmas traditions you can start now, and you know, getting like Santa's key and, you know, carrot for Rudolph, milk for Santa and cookies, and we've got obviously all these stockings and stuff like that. I love all that stuff. What's next? What do I find the hardest? I think the hardest part about being a mother is finding time to be you, to do your own thing, having your independence, because not every mother, because they do go to, some mothers have gone back to work. I personally haven't gone back to work just yet because we physically can't afford to. If I went back to work, the amount we'd have to spend on childcare is ridiculous. Until they're both in school, or at least Aria's in school, and we only have to pay for one of them, I'm not going to be able to go back to work. So it's hard then to actually have something for me. I'm so used to working, so used to bringing income in and being all independent on my own. It's hard to go from that to go to not having any income other than whatever little amount of benefits we get, and relying solely on my partner to bring in all the wage, which is not something I enjoy doing. I like to earn my money. I'd rather go out and earn it and get the conversation off adults, and you know, just everything about the job. Although I can't complain, I do get to spend all my time with my kids, but it is a lonely thing, parenthood, and it's even lonelier when you don't work and you're stuck in all the time. And you know, I think the worst part is that it's just hard. Like, I haven't really had to sacrifice anything. Like, you know, the odd place I haven't been able to go that I haven't been bothered about, but it's hard on your mental health, I think. Yeah, that's the hardest part for me. I've really struggled with my anxiety and being lonely and everything, so yeah. People often say that a boy or girl are easier. In your experience, which is true, if any? I wouldn't say either, to be honest with you. Both are hard in their own way and can be better in their own way. Finley is very loving and cutchy, but at the same time he has got the worst temper on him you could ever see on a child. He'll literally just chuck himself to the floor and scream his head off. He won't let anybody touch his cars. If anybody touches his cars, even if you're trying to play with him with his cars, he will scream the place down and he will go crazy on you. But like I said, he's a very loving child and he's funny. But then Aria, on the other hand, then she's hilarious, and then she can be so cute with Finley, and she'll get him his juice and say, "Oh, you okay, Finley?" And you know, she'd go around going, "Oh dear, oh dear." So she's hilarious as well. I don't know where she'd get "oh dear" from. I'm thinking maybe Mithrin, but I don't know. But then she has got the worst temper on her ever as well. She's got the worst attitude. The stuff she'd come up with, she'd point at me, she's like, "No, you mammy, you're not doing this." And she'd just say, at one point I was trying to tell her off, and I count backwards from 3. I was like 3, 2, I was like, if I get to 1 now, you go to bed or whatever, just to get some sort of discipline. And before long she started going, "Now mammy, 3, 2, 1, and telling me off, which is hard because it's funny, but at the same time she's being naughty and she's not listening to me, and she just have this hell of a smirk on her and then run away as well, so she knows exactly what she's doing. So they're both hard in their own ways. So I'm not sure. Obviously Finley might go out of his temper a bit. He's still younger than Avia, so he's not quite gone through his terrible twos yet. So Avia might calm down, Finley might start being a little shit. So I might change my my mind on the answer to that one. Have you done things differently with kid number 2? Yes, I have. Well, with your first baby, you want everything to be perfect. You want all new clothes, you want every size, you buy everything brand new, you want to pick everything. You have a photo shoot, you have memory boxes, you have everything you can bloody think of. With Finley, we couldn't afford a photo shoot. We had it booked, we had to cancel it last minute because we couldn't afford it, and we were saying, oh yeah, we'll wait till next month when we get paid, and then it just never got booked again. We didn't get a memory box because we just keep forgetting to get it, and he's now nearly 2. So his stuff is in Aria's memory box. Then all his clothes, obviously we did buy 1 or 2 outfits, but when we found out we were pregnant, we started buying Aria unisex baby clothes and vests so that we could keep them for when Finley was born. And we also had like hand-me-downs of people, so he had a lot of second-hand clothes because they're not in them for 2 minutes. It's just stuff like that, you know, you just don't, you know better from the first time, you know not to go crazy and not to go overboard. So yeah, I did do things differently. Am I more strict or relaxed on baby number 2? I'd say I'm more relaxed, as in when I was weaning Aria, I'd panic and panic and panic. I literally didn't want to even be left home on my own when I started on the 7 months jars because they're so bitty. I thought she was going to die. But with Finley, I knew that if he was coughing or looked like he was choking, a lot of the time they work through it themselves, and it's pretty, you know, they cough once or twice and they're fine. You've got time to get to them, there's no panic, it's not so bad. Obviously you still worry, but I weren't as nervous. I tried him with toast earlier on, I did try a little bit of baby led weaning, but I failed because I did panic a little bit, but I tried stuff more. I wasn't a lot less panicky, and because you're so busy as well with the first child as well as the second child, you are a lot more laid back with stuff. But then I would say I'm a lot more stressy because they both do your head in, and then if one of them says something wrong, that's it. I get stressed as hell and I scream at them, and then I feel bad for it. So yeah, I'm a bit of both. Right, I think that's all my questions. So if there's anything that I haven't answered that you would like answered, please comment and subscribe below. If you have me on Instagram and you've already put a question on there that I haven't answered yet, I will answer it. Like I said, I'll either do another video, I'll do Q&A part 2, or I will personally message you depending on how many more questions I get. Thank you for watching. Bye.